What's up, YouTube? Thanks for joining me on another episode of Twisted Wrench Garage. I haven't seen you guys in a while. It's been a couple weeks. Been pretty busy. We got moved into our new house. Our house. I like saying that. Our house. We're not renting anymore. I can do whatever I want to this place within reason, because we are in a homeowners association neighborhood, so I kind of have to follow some rules and such. So I'll have to do some research on that, figure out what I can and can't do. Like to maybe expand the driveway here or whatever. But again, my house. I get to do some stuff to the inside of the garage now. The other place where we were renting, I couldn't really do anything to that house. Couldn't make the backyard look nice. I couldn't do any kind of patio work or anything like that. Couldn't do anything to the garage to make it look cool. Here I can do that. I do plan on decorating the place for sure. I want to maybe get some neon signs, a stop sign or a stop go sign or whatever. I'd like to make a car related garage in here. I've seen so many of those garages that have just decorations and stuff all over the walls, and it looks awesome. And I think Ramona definitely deserves to live in a garage like that. She's an awesome truck. But do have some things planned today. You guys might notice a little something over my shoulder. That's something I've had for a couple of years. I do maybe plan on putting it on the channel, doing a restoration on it or whatever, basically making it where I can get run and drive, and I can kind of tell you, a little bit of history on that here in a little bit. But we're gonna do a few things today in the garage. And it's a new garage. Might as well do something in it. I don't have anything super big planned, but might as well do something in it. It's a new garage. Might as well break it in, huh? So we'll go ahead and get the shop tour done, and we'll get to work on Ramona here. Get some parts added to her.
And there's the garage. There's a little bit of a peek of what we're doing today. There's some hoods that I've got. This one here is for my uncle's Ram Charger, and then I got my bird bath behind it. We got our air compressor all set up. I don't know if you guys can see or not, but poor little tire's flat. So I'm gonna actually try to get a full set of 4 235/55 17s to throw on this, because as much as I love the staggered look, I really would like to have all the tires the same size. That way, if I need to rotate them, I can. But got a few things set up here, fishing gear. That's for summertime. We're gonna be going camping here soon. My other wheels and tires. Got the engine hoist and a shelf set up. Got a little L set up for the toolboxes and a new shelf here. I like the way it sets up in here. I don't know exactly how I'm gonna fit 2 cars in just yet, but I do believe it will fit. My truck is over to the center just a little bit because the wife doesn't like parking in the garage. So I kind of get the garage myself, which I'm kind of fortunate on that. There's the old fridge from the old house. I went ahead and took the handles off of it, and I'm hoping to practice my patina paint and kind of figure out how I can do that, and maybe use that in a future project for maybe her, Miss Ramona here, or maybe another project. This thing here, now I don't know if anyone else may know what it is, but I picked it up probably 2-3 years ago. It was a 1969, if I remember correctly. It is a 0-turn. This is a Swisher Ride King, Swisher Mower and Machine Co. Incorporated from Missouri, Warrensburg, Missouri. I really loved the look of this thing whenever I picked it up. I picked it up for 25 bucks. It wasn't running. It wasn't, mowing, obviously. It does have electric start. It didn't have a battery on it at the time. But I did get it running the day after or whatever. I got it running, and I got to mow the yard with it probably 3 or 4 times. I changed oil on it and all that kind of stuff. Kind of did all the maintenance that I could possibly do to it to keep it, from messing up. I went through the carburetor, cleaned the bowl, cleaned all that kind of stuff out, reset the float, all that stuff. And after about the 4th time mowing it, I was out in the middle of the yard mowing, and I heard it start to lose power, and then it started knocking, and then bang, and it just blew a hole in the case, and then oil went everywhere. So I got to figure out how I can either retrofit a newer motor on this or try to find an original Tecumseh motor that's like this, because the way that it's set up is it's front wheel drive. So the front wheel drives off of this gear motor, and that gear motor is going up to a big set of pulleys that are underneath here that's got like 3 or 4 different pulley systems, because you got this knob right here, which is a two-speed knob there. So you got 2 speeds. There's a lever underneath the steering wheel. That's what engages your drive wheel on the front. And then again, like I said, this is a 0 turn, so this wheel can actually turn 360 degrees all the way around as many times as you want. And like I said, I had never seen anything like it. I thought it was super awesome, and it's a super skinny riding lawnmower, so it fits through generally the single wide wooden gate fences. Blah. But like I said, I think it's only like I can't remember how wide it is. I can measure it whenever I get around to redoing it, but I just kind of wanted to share it with you guys, because when we were moving, it was either going to be take this with us or scrap it, because obviously it doesn't run, and I can't see myself scrapping something with such age and such cool looks. I mean, honestly, I can see this thing riding in the back of the truck just as a patina look to add to the truck. But that's the garage. A few more things, I guess. This was set up in my house at the other house, but I used to have a lot more Hot Wheel cars and stuff on it. So what I'm gonna do with this is I got that Dodge model for Christmas last year. Did this Dodge Cuda. I've got a couple of the Dodge step side. I got a little red. I got the blue step side, and I've also got 2 of the Bajas, orange and white, and then orange, 2 different teams. But I do want to do up this 78 Dodge long bed with the mini bike in it, because I think it'd look really good on the shelf. I think it'd be super cool is if I can get all the different kinds of models of Dodge pickup models that they did, like a little red. I think they did a Macho. They did a bunch of different little Dodge pickups that I would love to actually put together and put on the shelf here as a little viewing piece. Mopar Parkway. Yeah. Got our little TV set up. That's for music for whenever I'm out here working or whatever. You guys can see where I was going through some bolts and stuff. That was for what we're doing today. I had to find some bolts to make a mount work with what we're doing. But enough talk about the garage. Let's get to looking at what we're doing today. It's so cool. All right, guys. So now, what we're here to do today. I know it's not going to be super crazy doing anything today, but I wanted to get you guys something going. I wanted to do something to the truck. So one of the major things that we're doing, well, I guess that's really not major things, but one of the things we're doing today is we're going to put an oil catch can on Ramona here. Now, there's definitely a lot of ups and downs when it comes to looking up information when it comes to these oil catch cans. Now this one I already had. I had this from a previous vehicle, and I wasn't running on this one. I was running on that one. Now, I guess the first thing we should go over, I guess, is what is an oil catch can and what does it do? So, an oil catch can, what the purpose of it is it hooks up through what your PVC valve. You have a hose going from your PVC valve to either your carburetor or your intake manifold, basically wherever it's going to for intake vacuum. What that PVC stands for positive crankcase ventilation. Okay, while your motor's running, it's building up pressure inside the engine, and what can happen if you don't have a release valve somewhere in that system is it'll build pressure up in the bottom end, and it can cause a lot of problems. So what they do is they put a PCV valve, a positive crankcase pressure valve, on the valve cover on like these, and on the valve cover most newer vehicles, they all have. And what the oil catch can does is it loops into that system. And what it does is the vacuum coming through the intake gets hooked up to one side, the other side gets hooked up to the PCV valve. Okay, and what that does is any excess oil, gas, or anything that's in the top of the motor that you don't want going into A, your carburetor, and B, your intake manifold. That right there will make your engine run a lot cleaner. Keeps the valve deposits from depositing on the tops of the valves, because generally there is oil that does get passed. And I don't know the history, the full history on this motor. Yeah, I have said that it may only have 60,000 miles, but I don't know for sure. So it's better for me to be safe than sorry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to install this oil catch can, and I'm going to test it out, run it for as long as it takes me to do an oil change. Generally, you drain them after every oil change. This one here has a little sight on it. You can see it's a little brown. Like I said, I've used it before. This is a used device. I think I paid maybe 30, 40 bucks for it. It wasn't super expensive. I got it off of Amazon. One of the things I liked about it is that it actually had a drain at the bottom. Some of them don't. Some of them you have to actually like unscrew the bottom portion off. Has this big giant section, and then you can dump it. This one had a drain. I really like that. It's just held on with a little hose clamp and a little bracket that it came with. Now the black bracket, this is something I think I pulled off of one of my old desks or whatever. I think it's something, but it's metal. So I mean, my bracket's a bracket. As long as it works, it works. And it also has the bend in it, perfect for what I was working with. So I mean, why not use it? Another thing we're doing today is because I've also had some problems with my truck. Just coming out here and just firing it up. You know, sometimes I go to turn the key, nothing. Now I go and I'll mess with the starter relay wire. I'll switch the battery terminal from one to the other, and it sometimes will work, sometimes it won't. And then whenever it does work, I can get it to crank sometimes, and it'll just crank and crank and crank and crank and crank, like I'm not getting any voltage to the coil, which is definitely a possibility with the starter relay. So I went ahead and went to O'Reilly's, got another starter relay. We're going to throw that in today too. Another thing that I had problems with, when I was moving everything over here, I was using my truck to move some things. My speedometer stopped working. I think the cable came off of the back of it, because while I was driving, I could still hear it spinning in the dash, but I just don't think it's hooked up to the actual gauge, and I can get that sorted. But let's get you guys into view here, and we'll get this going. Alright guys, so first thing first, let's go ahead and knock out this starter relay. But I'm pretty sure that's what's causing my problems, and it's cheap enough to go ahead and change it out and not have to worry about that anymore, because it was only 15 bucks or $13.99. Part number 2DR1021 relay. So we'll just go ahead and quickly swap that out. Get that done. Then we'll move on to that oil catch can. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to set it up here just like it is. I'm just going to move the connections over where they are. That way nothing gets confused. And I do have the battery disconnected. Always disconnect your battery before you do that, guys. See, no negative, disconnected. Alright, so wires are on. Just want to go ahead and set this aside for now. Get a 3/8. Pull this one out. We'll put this other one back on. So there's that one. This one, we'll put it in its place. Really simple job. I mean, I know most people probably know how to do this, but I'm doing it, so why not record it, huh? Get this tightened up. Cool. And that's done. So let's go ahead and get you guys in a spot where you guys can see a little bit better how I'm going to get this oil catch can put on. Alright guys, so like I said, I've already got this on a bracket set up and how I want it. This bracket wasn't able to fit perfectly, so I went ahead and filed down this to fit the bolt that I was going to be using. There was another, so one of the ways I thought about having it was having it up here, using the old smog pump bracket locator for it. But I also thought about using this ground. And to set it there. So I think I'm going to try that first. So let's go ahead and pull that ground off. I'm not going to put this on the side of the bracket. I'm just going to take this bracket. There we go. Put my ground back on and put it back together. I don't know if I like that. Maybe we won't go that route. So let's put that back. That was just something I wanted to try with you guys here, because I've already kind of test fitted it how I wanted to set it up. Go back to that way. So, bolt, nut and bolt, with some washers, lock washers. Here's what we're gonna do. Put our setup on here because this has a slot that it will fit through. Let's put all of our washers on and get this started. That way I'm not fighting with that nut and bolt while holding that bracket. And it has lock washers on it, guys. So, should be able to fit that in there. Get that in position. Start looking at getting this tightened up. Tension. The other side was an Allen. Whoop, I fell down. Kind of snugged up here. Alright, so I kind of have it just kind of partially on there. Work it out just a little bit. And tighten it up some more. I'm going to get to a better spot here. Give me a second. I got a little bit more leverage. Turn the wrong way. There we go. Weird position. Get it from this side. Maybe. It also has a lock nut on it too, so I don't want this thing coming off. So that is in position. Now this thing also, it came with a filter to put on the top, or it came with a plug. I'm gonna try it both ways. I tried it both ways on the other vehicle I ran it on, but I think I ran it without the filter on the other vehicle. So just gonna go through and hook up our lines here. One there. And I've got some other hose here. See if this is going to be long enough. sure if it is. It might. I think I'm going to want a little more length, I think. It's about the same way. We'll try it. It's a little warm out today. The glasses keep trying to fall off. That goes there. I'm going to twist that. I'm going to make it to where it doesn't kink at all. Put this on. Alright. The way that's set up. I had some extra hose, or I had another thing of hose that I didn't know if it was going to work or not. That is all installed. So, I like the way that looks. I think it looks really cool in there. And again, guys, I'm not telling you guys you have to run an oil catch can. This is just something I'm doing. Just something I wanted to test out on one of these older motors. And I know a lot of people use them on the newer stuff. And I have seen some on the older stuff, but I mean, why not? I've got it. So, let's go ahead and get this battery hooked up. We'll get her fired up, make sure that starter relay is working. So, hook this battery up, just kind of temporarily. Give me 1 second, let me get you guys in a spot to watch this fire up. Alright guys, let's try it. My hope is that it'll start without me having to mess with those wires over there. So let's see. I gotta pump it. If that filter is causing a vacuum leak and making it idle higher. So I'm gonna put this plug back in and I'm gonna see if it changes the idle at all. And I know it's not warm yet because I know it's still cold. Pull that filter off. Put this on. Any different? Man, she runs good. All right, that's that. Just a little story time for you guys. I need to grab a set of them, but when I was working on Jason's truck, the last video, or the video before, I can't remember. It's been a few weeks and I've been doing a lot of stuff when it comes to moving the house and organizing and hanging stuff up. And holy moly, there's a lot of stuff when it comes to moving a house. But man, we are super excited about the house, super happy with it. But to the story time, when it came to the truck here, that day that I was working on Jason's truck, we were doing the paint on the inside, or on the underneath of the hood, where we did it black and gold. You guys can check that video out. We did some engine bay cleanup. We put a muffler on his truck. We adjusted some rear brake issues that he had. But on the way home, because I ended up having to like stop in the middle of what I was doing because it was about to start raining, or it started sprinkling, and I don't really like driving this one in the rain because of the drip rail up here on top of the windshield. It's rusted out, and the seam sealer's gone, and I've already gone through and I've pulled out some of the seam sealer and wire brushed some of the rust that was in there, and threw some rust converter on it, and I may throw some seam sealer up there just as a temporary for now until I can get around to fixing it. But a little bit of rust repair on the drip rail. All I'm doing is just kind of cleaning it up and spraying some rust converter, just so it won't get any worse. Just using this rust treatment. I picked it up at O'Reilly's a while back whenever I was doing my intake manifold and valve cover paint. But I just cleaning up some of the cracked up sealant that was in there. Eventually I'm going to replace it and try to get all this fixed, but you know, I don't have the funds to take care of that right now. Plus we're getting ready to move, etc. So on and so forth, you know. But this one right here, this side, I've already got 3 coats on the passenger side. This side here, this is just a little light coat. I'm just going over all these little spots after I took a little wire brush to them. And I'm just spraying this on to convert it to whatever this spray converts it to. Destroys rust on contact is what it says. But that's what I was doing today out in the garage. Well, I thought I'd share it with you guys. But on that drive home, I needed windshield wipers because I was trying to keep from using them as much as possible because mine, I had to change the motor on mine. I'm not too worried about driving in the rain because I don't really like driving in the rain. My motor itself will like go and stop and then go and stop. It's kind of messed up. But when I had to clear my windshield because I couldn't see. I was trying to get home. It was raining, so I turned the windshield wipers on, and I don't know if you guys can see, there's no windshield wiper on there. What had happened was it got to about, well, I'd say right here, yeah, and then the wiper arm actually folded over on itself, and then I was just sitting there watching it, and just it hit this, and then went by my driver window, and I was like, well, no wipers going home. I thought that was a little funny. I thought I'd share it with you guys. You know, that sun really does take a number on them because I haven't changed them since I got it. And, you know, it sat for 20 years, so why am I not surprised if the windshield wipers broke and flew off the truck while I was driving down, you know, a road going 40, 45 miles an hour. Luckily, it didn't hurt any other vehicle or anything like that. I was watching. So we'll get those replaced at some point just to make it look a lot better, like it's, you know, not busted. I'll get that speedometer fixed on my own time. But other than that, I think I'm done for the day. I do want to get this tack sorted out at some point. I got plans for the headliner, and I've got a lot of plans for it. I know I haven't really gotten to do a whole lot for you guys, but there you go. That was that little story time. Alright guys, well, that's another episode of Twisted Wrench Garage Down. Like I said, I wasn't going to be doing a whole lot of crazy stuff today. Just wanted to show you guys an update of what I was doing, kind of describe what was going on with the oil catch can, and kind of tell you guys why I'm deciding to put one on my vehicle. Like I said, I'm not telling you guys to drop what you're doing and go out and buy an oil catch can because it's going to make your engine run cleaner and you're going to get better performance, better fuel mileage, and all this and that and this. I could go through all that, but I'm not going to because I really don't know. I really don't. Like I said, it's there to try to help prevent any other oil deposits and those kind of things build up on your valves. And I'm gonna take the chance because I have it, and I'm gonna throw it on the truck. I did. Went ahead and changed the starter relay, got it firing back up. It's starting good. And hopefully I won't have any more problems with that. The stickers, again, guys. We're gonna be doing the stickers. I think the smaller ones. I think we're gonna be charging between. I think
think it's like $8.99 for the smaller ones. I think right now we have like 4 or 5, maybe 8 different colors that we can do for the decal. My buddy Jason, he's got his. We're gonna get my uncle one. I think I might try to get one for the other cars around. We're definitely gonna get one for that black truck for whenever it gets up and going. I haven't really gotten to mess with it in the past couple of weeks just because of all the house moving and all that kind of stuff. But I'm kind of curious, guys. When it comes to this riding mower, you know, I know it's not truck related or car related, but it does have an engine. And it's got 3 wheels. You don't have 4. I mean, it's not a bike, but it's a trike. It's a tractor. You guys want to see me kind of do like a restoration on it, slash, just basically get it back up and going because I'd love to use it again. It was fun to ride and fun to drive, and I think it'd be cool to have back up and going. So you guys let me know in the comments. Do you guys want to see me do the work on this? Do you guys have any info or input on this thing? I've done some research. I haven't really been able to find a ton of stuff about it. I know, like I said, I know it's a Tecumseh. I believe it was a 6.5 horse. But that top pull, this top setup, with it being this top setup having a pulley up here that drives this front wheel, and then the bottom pulley which drives the actual blades at the bottom, it's definitely going to be an interesting ordeal to try to solve that problem when it comes to getting either a new motor or something that's going to fit in it. But if you guys have one of these old Tecumsehs sitting around that has this kind of style, let me know. I definitely use it if it's a good motor, or I may just go up to Harbor Freight and just grab one of those, you know, $100, $200 little, $150 little motor motors I might be able to throw on there and try to custom fat with a way to mount that pulley on it. But again, let me know in the comments, guys, about, you know, if you guys want to see me do that on the channel. I got another mower I got to get going. I can throw on the channel. Anything that has to do with me fixing stuff, I can throw on the channel. But there you go, guys. Again, decals $8.99 for the smaller ones. We're not offering the bigger ones right yet. Let me know down in the comments, or hit me in an email in the about section at twistedwrenchgarage@gmail.com. Until next time, we'll see you guys later.